What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about the best footwork drills that wide receivers can do. Let's get started. Now, before we get into this video, fellas, if you are a wide receiver and would like a daily gym and on-field workout schedule to follow with the exact exercises in the gym that wide receivers should be doing and on-field drills that wide receivers can do for route running, press releases, their hands, everything, check out that very first link in the description below for our ultimate 8-week wide receiver workout plan. 500 plus drills and exercises, fellas, all mapped out, examples of each one with the exact sets and reps to do. So again, very first link in that description below. Let's get back to this video. All right, guys, so this first drill is going to be kind of a more simpler drill, and then we're going to get into the more complex stuff as this video goes on. But this first drill is just going to be a crossover stick drill. So what do a lot of wide receivers like to do, whether it's off the line of scrimmage at the top of the route? They're usually having to cut hard, plant hard, whether they're running a post route, whether they're doing a move off the line. So that's pretty much what this drill is going to replicate. So you need 4 cones set up right here. It's going to be 3 specific cuts. So all you're going to do is you're going to start out next to these cones like you're doing that simple like ladder drill where you tap your foot, but instead of tapping your foot, it's going to be a hard cut, and instead of just 1 cut, it is going to be 2 cuts working a crossover move. And I'm going to show you how each one of these drills is going to look full speed. But all you're going to do coming out here is just a simple 1-2. Coming back, 1-2. Now make sure that the first step on this 1-2 is inside of your frame so you can push off of it and step past this line of cones with the second step. This is, again, a great drill to work on the crossover, that stick that you need to make off the line and at the top of the route. What I recommend doing is about 4 to 5 reps on each specific side of this drill. And again, fellas, also one last thing before I show this full speed, make sure that when you throw this second crossover, your body is not staying down the middle of this like line of cones, if you will. Bring that chest outside of the knee so that foot can stay inside of your frame, but we could also step wide and sell this thing. Okay, so I'm gonna show you this is gonna look full speed. All right, guys, so this next footwork drill that we're going to be talking about for wide receivers is to work on your hips being loose. Now, why do wide receivers want to have loose hips? So loose hips help you get in and out of breaks a little bit faster, and it helps you sell different cuts like at the top of the route or off the line. So I'll give you 2 examples before I show this drill full speed. So like, let's say, for example, you're running like a comeback route, right? So you're pushing downfield, you drop your hips into a comeback, but after you drop your hips, what do you have to do? We have to be able to get out of this break, and we want to get out of the break as fast as possible. And what gets you out of the break as fast as possible is the ability of your hips to get out of this break. So you drop down to the break, we have to be able to foot my hips to be able to get me out of this thing with little to no wasted time. So that's the first reason it's important. Second reason it's important is, like, let's say I'm at the top of the route or off the line of scrimmage and I'm trying to work that 1-2 that we just worked on. So when you guys are doing this 1-2 and you're trying to sell an outside breaking route, your hips have to be loose. You have to be able to sell with the upper half, because a DB, when he's in man-to-man coverage, is supposed to be watching what? He's supposed to be watching your hips. So you have to be able to sell with your hips off the line or at the top of the break. So this drill is just a simple drill that you can do to work on those hips being loose and your hips being, I guess mobile, if you will. So all you're going to do is you're going to start out, make sure you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cones. Make sure that these cones are about a yard apart. Try to make them maybe even less than a yard. Try to make them as close together as possible. So all you're going to do is you're going to have foot fire throughout the entire drill. So it's going to be foot fire here, and you're going to turn your hips to the left and try to keep your shoulders pointed down the middle of this line of cones. Then you're going to come back, turn your hips all the way to the right, turn your hips to the left, and then turn your hips all the way to the right to work on, obviously, nice, good foot fire footwork, making sure your heel's not touching the ground to promote good foot strike, but also just to work on that mobility of the hips. I'm going to show you how this is going to look full speed here in a second. I want to do maybe about 4 to 5 reps of this drill. All right, guys, so this next drill that we're going to be talking about is called an Icky Shuffle stick drill. So I'm sure all of you have probably seen an Icky Shuffle, but again, this is just another drill to work on wide receivers working that like jab, that stick off the line of scrimmage, or to work on that hard cut at the top of like a post route, a corner route, or whatever route you are trying to work that requires a cut off of one leg. So I'm sure all of you guys can do this with a line of cones like I have, and you could do more cones than this if you please. I think it's only necessary to have 5 cones, or you could do this on like a speed and agility ladder. If you have one of those like octagons, like those agility octagons that you see, or whatever those are called. So that you can do this pretty much on anything. But you guys have all probably seen an Icky Shuffle before, where you guys are trying to keep your body down the center of the ladder, and all you're doing is just 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, and you're just icky shuffling right on through. Now, you're going to be doing the same first 2 steps, but when you step out of the box or outside of the line, it's going to be a hard cut, like you're throwing a move off the line of scrimmage. You're trying to build off of the last drill that we did where you're selling with your hips, or I should say the first 2 drills that we did. So that's what this drill is going to be. So what you would do, again, focusing on being on the ball of your foot for the first 2 steps. So it's going to be 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. And it's just that same 3-step rhythm. So I recommend, again, doing about 4 to 5 reps of this. I'm going to show you how this specific drill is going to look full speed. All right, guys, so this next drill we're going to be talking about is going to work on something called a box cut at the top of the route. So this is a move that you guys would use on like a 90-degree breaking route. I personally prefer this type of move, you should say, on like a dig route, not a first read dig where you got to get out of the break quick and the quarterback's hitting you right away. This is kind of like a backside dig or maybe a second or third read because it's a longer developing move. But this is a very, very advanced drill, but I think you guys will be able to get it down. So pretty much what a box cut is like, let's say, for example, I'm on the left side. It's a 4-step break at the top of the route. Say the quarterback's to the right, I got to run a dig, you're coming up. What you would do is you would drop 1, 2, so you would drop, and this is like if it's a perfect world. It doesn't have to be like these exact steps when you're working the move. Just these exact steps is how I would teach the move and what this drill is going to kind of build off, because the footwork is kind of like learning a dance. You're just learning steps. So you're running up, it's going to be a drop right, left, then a crossover right, left. So like you got a DB who's off, a safety who's off, you're running up to him, you drop to try to put the brakes on and draw him down. Then we use a crossover to try to sell this move, get him to go, and then we're able to get out of this thing. Or maybe you have a DB who's trailing you, you stack them, you drop, move to fake this out route, and that gets you some more separation. So that's pretty much what this drill is going to be working on. So what we got, we're going to be here lining up on the right side. It's going to be 4 steps. You're going to be here. There's a little bit of a rhythm to it. When I show you full speed, you'll know what I mean, but it's going to be 1, 2, right, left, 3, 4. Coming back, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure when we drop on the first 1, 2, you're trying to get your chest to your quads the best you can, and that crossover steps over the line just like what we've been working on this entire drill video. So I recommend doing about 4 sets on each side where you go right, left, then 4 sets, left, right, left, right. I'm going to show you how this is going to look full speed. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, if you would like an 8-week daily wide receiver gym and on-field workout schedule to follow all the gym exercises and on-field drills wide receivers should be doing, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to get you on that, fellas. I'll see you guys next time.